adapt to and change to everybody. That's Gemini. So it's what everybody want to communicate and think about. So a lot of times they may just communicate with themselves, or want to learn a bunch of things, or read a bunch of instructions, or read and analyze and learn and be the jack of all trades of a lot of things, so they could dive into any conversation when it's time for it. And then you have Aquarius. That's the fixed air. They like to stay fixated on their own way of thinking and communicating. So a lot of times they may get reserved and may want to think to themselves just like Gemini. But a lot of times they're not thinking of 1,000 thoughts like Gemini. They're thinking of this one thought. So soon as you present yourself in a way that they don't like to think and communicate, that one thought is going to be communicated, and they're going to let you know why y'all are not on the same page. See what I'm saying? So when you have the sun being in the first house, that's the first house lord, you know what I'm saying, you're here to enlighten others what they're good at. You're here to enlighten and show others the prospects of where their personality could take them, or how they can get out of their personal issues if it's a bad one. Now let's go into Virgo. It's going to play the same way as Gemini, because it's Mercury. So first house lord being in the first house is going to be Mercury again. You're here to communicate and analyze and think about and talk about a lot of your personal issues and a lot of your personality, and that's going to get you personally ahead. You know what I'm saying? Now when we get to Libra works in the same way as Taurus. So if you have the first house lord in the first house and it's Libra, it's going to work as Venus. You're here to value, appreciate, and relate to others' personalities and help someone else here in a certain degree, and apply yourself and support yourself in ways of others, to the point that it'll help you out personally. Like I said, case workers, you know what I'm saying, juvenile justice center workers, and things of that. If you have a Taurus or Libra ascendant, and Venus falls in the first house there too, a lot of justice and fairness is going to want to play out in your life in a lot of ways. Like, so you're going to want to be correctional officers, or things of police, or things of that nature. Or if it's not that, just something that could conduct fairness and amongst others. Scorpio is going to work the same as Aries if Mars falls here in the first house. So if you have the first house lord in the first house and it's Mars, it could be Aries or Scorpio. It plays the same way. It loves to be here, and your intentions and things that you intend to do is going to be wanting to work on themselves. Now in this case it's just Scorpio, so it's on your own emotions and feelings. So your intentions right here and things that you intend to do is to emotionally conduct your own emotions and feelings, so you can have enough willpower to inadvertently express your personality in the way that you choose, in the way that you like, and you don't have to feel vulnerable. And first house lord in the first house, Mars, if you have a Scorpio ascendant, it's going to help that. Now it could be a little airy a little bit if Mars wasn't here, because your personality is going to be dealing with a lot of your fixed emotions and feelings, and a lot of times you may feel not to express your personality as much. But with Mars here, it helps that, to the point that you express your emotions and feelings in good taste, and let a person know what things you intend to do and your true intentions, and people don't sense bad intentions from you. You know what I'm saying? They sense that your personality and you personally have good intentions out for others. You know what I'm saying? Now, Sagittarius. Now, if Jupiter, first house lord in the first house of Jupiter is your ascendant. I mean, if Sagittarius is your ascendant, Jupiter is going to be your lord. And if the first house lord is in the first house and it's Jupiter, what happens here is you're here to personally asset your wisdom, your knowledge, things you learned, your experiences, and you're here to personalize them, and you're here to put them in perspective, to the point that you can actually teach someone else something, or preach to someone else, or you know what I'm saying, have your wisdom and your knowledge be part of your personality. And like a lot of preachers, teachers got this placement. A lot of social activists got this placement. A lot of social aware people who always want to speak on social things and stuff of that nature. Jupiter first house. Sagittarius is the first house, and Jupiter is in the first house also. First house lord in the first house being Jupiter. You're going to see a lot of these people be this way, because they feel they have a broad perspective personally already, and a broad perspective on personal issues, and they're here to bring that on a broad perspective personally. So they take a lot of personal things that's going on with the world and put it in a perspective, in a philosophical view. So they're here to give that knowledge to others in so many ways. You know what I'm saying? A lot of scientists have this placement because it's Jupiter. Not as it's Jupiter, so you're gonna want to gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom. And when it's about the I am, the personal, a lot of times people have personal health problems. People have personality problems, personal issues. So it'll make a person want to learn the scientific methods. Learn the scientific, and Mercury here also, but mainly Jupiter. See, Mercury works different. It depends on the houses. They work different in different ways. Jupiter is not the scientifical planet, but it could play that scientifical role when you have Sagittarius being in the first house and wanting to learn a broad perspective about things personally. And if it's a lot of people who are into medications and things personally, and that's things you want to experience. And once you experience it, you learn and gain wisdom of it. And once you learn and gain wisdom of it, you want to put that in some type of personal use in your life. So that's what you're going to do. Everything you got wisdom and knowledge on and experience, you can put that into a personal situation in your life, or make it a personal issue for others to springboard off of, to make it feel like, okay, this person has a lot of wisdom and knowledge based upon this personal issue, and this is the only person I choose to go to in order to help me out with this personal insecurity. So that's Jupiter, and that's what Jupiter, first house lord in the first house, if it was Jupiter, can do for people. Now, Capricorn, you're gonna Capricorn first house right here, and Saturn in the first house. So first house lord in the first house. What happens here is you're here to construct others personally, help build a foundation in your own life and other people's life. So you're here to construct a way how to gain structure in your life personally, and you're here to help others do that also. So whatever systems you come up with of how to handle your personal issues, the assertiveness, the conservativeness, the reservedness that you have, the stick sturdiness, the task, pace by pace, point A to point B, 1, 2, 3, blueprint, outline, way how you can structure your personal issues in a way that you want to conduct your personality before you express it. These are ways that's helpful to others, and these are ways can help others. Like, you build foundations for people personally. You may be personally the backbone for others. You're here to construct your personality in a constructive way. You're here to be a boss for the sake of being a boss. You're here to be the authority figure for the sake of being an authority figure. You are the type of person who become manager at a job just because you do the job better than the manager. You know what I'm saying? Because you see where the manager is not being a manager at because of their personality flaws. And when you have first house lord being in the first house and it's Saturn, that's the things that you're keen on. That's the things that you're thinking about. So you're here to kind of take over personal things. You're here to help others and take over other people's personal issues, personal assets. People may leave a lot of things in your hands because you're mature enough and you're conservative enough to understand what to do with these things. People may trust you more with their life than their own life. So right here, or with their possessions. So right here, this becomes a placement of a person who's become a sturdy backbone for all personalities and all personal issues amongst their surroundings. So you're here to, a lot of times you're going to have to shed a tear a few and brood a lot. So make sure you have an indoors closed room that you can do that. But for the most part, take it on a chin, come back outside and do what you're here to do. And that's be that backbone for others. And the more and more you know how to stabilize yourself in situations and be that representation for others of how they're supposed to carry themselves and not go too overboard with their personality or not be too laxative when it comes to handling their personal issues, the more and more you're going to be able to put yourself in a position, and others gonna put you in a position because they know that you're the right person for this position, whatever situation you're into. Now, Aquarius in the first house. It's going to work the same as Capricorn because it's Saturn. So first house lord being in the first house, and Saturn here, it does that also, just with a communication and analyze aspect on it. So instead of a practical and constructive way of doing it, now it's how many people you know how you gonna get to A to B, or how many people you associate yourself with, how you get from point A to point B, or how many ideas you can construct with yourself, how you get from point A to point B. So it's just the dynamics change. You know what I'm saying? Now Pisces Pisces is going to work the same way as Sagittarius because it's Jupiter. So what happens here is when first house Lord comes into the first house and it's Jupiter, you got to have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and based upon your own personal experiences, that's how you're here to help others and enlighten others' personal experiences, but based upon the emotions and the feelings now. Based upon the emotional report, how well you're able to connect with someone emotionally, or how well you're able to connect with someone and how they feel, and that's how you're going to be able to give them wisdom personally, or handle something personally, or have a lot of personal wisdom within yourself in order to align yourself with someone else to be put into a position, or to align yourself with your own things that you've learned, own wisdoms, own knowledges, own experiences in your life, and incorporate that within your personality. So when people see you being emotionally connected to things, they see you having a philosophical point of view behind it. You know what I'm saying? And therefore they know you're not just acting out of emotion. No, there's an actual philosophical point of view and an understanding behind the feelings that you're expressing. And that's first house lords in the first house. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.